Hey guys, welcome back to another NetSuite tutorial brought to you by Witham. In today's video, we are going to look at creating a custom segment. So NetSuite comes out of the box with a few native financial segments, departments, classes, locations. However, there are certain scenarios where a business may decide they want to track or monitor another sort of metric across posting transactions like invoices. So in today's example, we are going to look at a hypothetical company that is in wholesale distribution. They already have their classes and departments already established, their locations established, and they want to simply track another metric across all incoming sales orders, namely distribution channel. So we're going to look at creating a new custom segment for this customer called distribution channel. So to start, we are going to go to customization, list records and fields, and custom segments new. And when this loads up, we're going to take a look at populating some of these fields here. But I actually went ahead and already created this custom segment. So we're going to take a look at what it looks like here. So this is the form that would look, what it would look like when it loads. So you'll start off just by entering the name of your custom segment right here in the label. So like I said, we're going to call this distribution channel. Over here, for the type, you have two selections you can choose from. One is list and record. The other is multi-select. A few things to note limitation-wise around the multi-select type. If you do select the multi-select, you will not be able to utilize the dynamic filtering nor the GL impact feature. So for the purpose of this demo, we're going to choose list and record. So over here on the right, we do have an option to filter by other custom segments. So if I wanted to have the values here for my distribution channel dynamically filtered based off the class, for example, I would select class, and then for retail, I can filter it dynamically based on a certain value of one of the classes. Probably the most important thing to note on this when creating a new custom segment is the GL impact. Basically, this is what you want to check if you want to track this custom segment across the general ledger and see it show up on your financial statements like your P&L. It's also important to check this if you want to budget by this custom segment. And once you have saved this new custom segment, you will no longer be able to go back and change this value, which is why it's grayed out here. Down here, you can enter help. And this is the field level help. So when you're on the record, you can click on the field. So for here, for example, we can see it. We click on it and we can see the field level help, which is what we've identified right here. Down here, you simply type in your values. So for our distribution channel, we have 5 channels identified: retail, online, wholesale, indirect, and direct. Next, we're going to look at application and sourcing. So this is where you say where you want to apply this custom segment to, what records. So like I said, we want to apply this to incoming sales orders. So we're going to go to transactions. We're going to click sales transactions. And if you wanted to apply this to individual line items on a transaction, you could go to transaction columns and say sale item. However, it makes more sense for a distribution channel to be tagged to the overall transaction level. So we're just going to leave it at the transaction level. You can tag it to entities, so we can put it on the customer record. And one thing we're going to look at is the ability to dynamically filter based off put it on the customer record. So if we were to put this field on the customer record identified here, and we were to go to transactions and we were to put source list and then enter select entity customer. What this does is whenever we enter a new transaction, a sales transaction, and we enter that customer name, it's automatically going to source the distribution channel from that customer record. And we'll take a look at that shortly. So we can do the same thing here, CRM, wherever you want to apply this. It doesn't make sense to really put it on the CRM or items, other record types. So if you want to budget by this custom segment, the first thing I mentioned is you have to have the GL impact checkbox checked. You will also need to check the budget import checkbox on the other record types subtab. And when you do this, you're going to notice you'll see a pop-up saying that you must also check journal entry. So to budget by this custom segment, make sure you check journal entry on the transaction subtab and also the budget import on other record types. Validation and defaulting, if you want to make this field mandatory on all record types that it is applied to, you can check that. If you want to apply default selection, you can select that. However, if you do have the dynamic sourcing set up here, this will overwrite anything that you have set up here. You can add permissions to this, dependent segments, like I said, with the filtering. And that's about it right here. So we're going to go ahead and save this and take a look at what it looks like on a sales transaction. So I actually already have one created. This is an invoice created for customer 3M. And one thing to notice is after you save the custom segment, it's not automatically going to show up on the sales transaction form on the main level, I should say. It will show up under the custom subtab. So you can see here, custom distribution channel. If you want to move it up here, say next to class, location, department, you would have to just customize the form. So here we can see we have a sales transaction. 3M was invoiced for 2 iPads, and they purchased them via wholesale distribution channel. So if we were to go to the GL impact now, since we checked this, because it's going to be GL impacting, we will notice that here we can see on the GL impact that it is tagged along with the department, sales, class, corporate sales, location. We can see it right here. Now, if we were to go to the income statement, the P&L, another cool thing, well, since we marked it as GL impacting, we can actually filter or segment our P&L by that custom segment. So if we were to go here to the column filter, we can select distribution channel, refresh, and what it will show us is a segmented report with the distribution channels by column in the given date range. So here you see online, retail, wholesale, sales by distribution channel. Yeah, and so aside from that, like I said, if you want to budget by it, we'll make sure we check off journal entry, other record types, budget import, and then when we go to the budget setup, we will see it here as a drop-down available. So that is essentially it with creating a custom segment. I hope you enjoyed and tune in for the next video.